How many of you are local Timberwolves fans? That's a question I've started to ask myself here a little bit as we've gotten into things. We're not a big fan base by any means. I feel like we're a pretty Midwest focused brand, team, I guess, not brand. But let me know if you guys are an out of state, not out of state, but like out of region fan. I do live in Minnesota myself. And obviously, I went to the Minnesota State Fair. So, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to Timberwolves Today. Let's get into it. I was at the state fair today, actually, recording as the day I was recording this, I guess. And not to a surprise by any means, but they had Timberwolves merch for sale, and it was dirt cheap. Now, it wasn't like prime merch, but you could have gotten Anthony Edwards City Edition jersey from this last season for only $36, and that's if there wasn't a discount on it. They were offering up to 60% off a lot of merch. So I was looking through stuff. I should have gotten more because stuff was way cheaper than I thought. So I thought, start today. Why don't we show you what I picked up today? Uh, Pretty simple. Start things off first. Got myself a little can koozie from the series that we unfortunately lost to the Thunder, but it was like $2. $2 for a Timberwolves koozie. I mean, look at this thing. This thing's sick. It's just like that's a good koozie right there. But yeah, $2 for that. And then I did pick up this as well. I don't know how well it's gonna show, but oh, somewhere here. You let me know what you guys think of this. It's from the Western Conference Finals this last year. Obviously, we didn't win it. We didn't win last year or the year before that, but I mean, like, pretty cool shirt overall. Like for only $8. I mean, how can you? I couldn't pass it up for $8. I was like, it's coming home with me, and I should have grabbed a lot more of them because it was $8 for a T-shirt. I don't care if we won the series or not. That's back-to-back Western Conference competitors. So, would you guys have picked up the shirt? I don't know. Let me know. Let me know if I'm crazy for wearing a shirt like that. Basically saying I'm okay with being a loser, but I think I am okay with being a loser. Yeah. So, anyways, let's get into kind of the more meaty stuff to today's episode. How would you guys feel about getting a younger point guard in if it were to be a little weird of a trade? This isn't the weirdest one I have today, but this one's weird. You guys can tell me what you think, but obviously we'd be trading with Philly. Philly's in a weird spot. I think Joel Embiid is nearing the end of his career, unfortunately. So they're gonna have to start leaning towards Tyrese Maxey, and they might look to offload Embiid somewhere. In this trade, I don't have us trading Rudy to them after they offload Embiid. I'm not in any position to want to help the Sixers. Don't really like them, but what if we could rob them blind of their young point guard star? He's listed as a shooting guard. He could play the point guard. Anyways, we would be sending them some shooting help in Dante DiVincenzo and our favorite contract offload, which is Leonard Miller. So we'd be sending those two, and in return, we're getting backup center DeAndre Drummond. Yeah, prime Drummond, one of the greatest NBA memes there is. But we'd be getting him, not the meat of this trade. The meat of this trade is a guy who's only making 4.2 million a year for the next 3 seasons, and that is Jared McCain, Mister 2 days into college himself. Yeah, I mean, I like Jared McCain. I think he's got a very good game. He obviously was like going to be a star last season before he blew up his knee. I think he tore his ACL, if I'm remembering correctly. Unfortunate for him, but could be great for us because we'd be able to kind of probably get a cheaper, better option at point guard with Jared McCain being able to come in and be a ready to go player. Obviously, he's pretty young. I think he's 19 or 20 going into this season, which fits our timeline that we know. They've got to be 20 to 26 right now, I'd say, if they're going to fit in this window right. Obviously, we have some guys who are older than that, but they still fit into the beginning of this timeline. We're going to look to reshift near future, 2, 3 years down the road. This team's going to look very, very different. But I think getting a guy like Jared McCain, if we can only give up Dante and whatever else, and I don't know, some picks. Like I never put the picks in these trades because the picks in the NBA are so weird. You never know how much a guy's going to go for. It's all dependent on what the GM actually values him at for the team. So to me, not going to try to figure out the trades. I'll let Tim Connolly do that magic for us. But I like McCain. I think he'd be a good fit for the team and the future of the team. Obviously, he'd be making close to 20 plus mil after the next 3 seasons are up. But if we won in those next 3 seasons, we could totally do whatever we want. I could see them cutting costs and being like, you know what, maybe we won't run this back. But OKC's running it back with pretty much the same roster, and they're not going to be cheap after this season. So options are on the table. I want to see how the OKC experiment goes first before the Timberwolves go ahead and do anything similar. So, Jeremy McCain, tell me what you guys think. The next one. This is where we're getting weird. The brain was doing some stuff here, and I decided, what if Timberwolves just went all in on this win now mentality that we kind of are running? Um, the guys we have look great. They look great. But what if we dumped a bit of our bench and we went full in on this win now mentality and got a point guard who injuries happen to him. It's a bit of a risk, but when he's healthy, he is easily one of the best point guards in the league. And that player would be, say it with me, DeJounte Murray. Yay! Yeah, DeJounte. I thought we were going to get him. Was that the Spurs he was on at that point? Whatever team he was on where he got traded to, oh my dude, this guy's been traded so much. When he got traded to the Hawks, I thought the Wolves were going to make a move for him, but we didn't. Obviously, we didn't. This guy's been bounced around the league. It's crazy how often DeJounte Murray gets traded, but I would love to trade for him. I think we could do it by just getting rid of some bench depth, which is kind of crazy, but I think it would work fine because we'd have guys who are ready to step up into roles. So we'd be getting DeJounte Murray and Yves Mizzi. Sorry if I'm butchering his name. I've seen it said a million different ways, and I'm never going to know what's right. So I'm going to say it the way that I say it, for him at least. And we'd be giving up, once again, Dante's hitting the trade block, and our favorite cap dump in Leonard Miller. Here's where I don't love it. We are technically trading away our other 2 point guards in Mike Conley and Rob. So it's really not a good trade if we're going to do anything with depth, like whatsoever. But DeJounte Murray, is it worth it to pair him with Ant for a couple seasons? He's making $30 million. A couple seasons, see if we can't win one, and if we can't, hard reset. We haven't done terrible damage to ourselves. Mike Conley's going to play for another couple seasons. Dante's Dante. Rob isn't looking how we want him to. I don't hate it. I don't love it certainly either, but I want to know your guys' thoughts on it. And my thoughts are, if we're going to go win now, let's do the whole win now with a player like DeJounte Murray. I think he can't get injured again, right? Like, knock on wood, but there's no way DeJounte Murray can get injured again. He's been injured for like half his career, I swear. Or maybe it was just because his last one was so bad, but I don't know. I like the player. I think he's a good player. Like, he was so good on the Hawks. Like, I think he had the Hawks second guessing if they should actually trade Trae Young or not. Trade Trae Young or not. Yeah, don't say that 5 times fast. I might have to look into a Trae Young trade. Yeah, I could like that. I could get after that. We'll do that on the next one. But yeah, I mean, it doesn't feel terribly crazy to me, but that's kind of the meat of everything I was talking about here. Nothing too spectacular or, that I think we might actually do, but could be worth it. Could be worth it. Either one of those trades, I think, could be a great option for us. Finally today, who is one guy you guys would want to bring back? Whether it's for vibes on the bench. No. We're gonna stick with this prompt of it better be a bench player. A guy who's serviceable, he gets good minutes, but he's not a star. He's not going to help us win a title too much. And I only thought of this because I was wondering who the worst NBA player in the league might be. And for a couple seasons, there was an argument to be had that it was Dashin Nix. Mr. Point on the bench from a couple seasons ago for the Timberwolves. He was bench mob player for us, a great bench mob player, but a horrible player in the league. I don't think he's in the league anymore. Uh, but for vibes on the bench, the guy I am totally going to miss because of just the legacy he left is Luka Garza. Letting Luka Garza leave this last year was an absolute mistake. Uh, I I don't like he can't. We just didn't give him a chance. So I really hope that on this kind of rebuilding Celtics team, he finds more opportunity to play and get an actual role, other than being the guy that the other team points to on the bench and be like, yeah, he hasn't played a single second. Make him come in and shoot a free throw. He did make both those, so he had 2 points in 0 minutes of play. Not the first time it's happened in the NBA, but it was pretty cool stat line to look at. It was like, wait, is this an error on ESPN? Like, how's this guy got 0 minutes and 2 points? Luka Garza is a legend, Iowa legend. You know, he's a guy who is stuck around the league. Guys like him. He's honestly a good player. When he comes in, he just goes all out and scores. He's a defensive liability. That's probably the reason he doesn't have a bigger role in the NBA. But I want Luka Garza back. Whatever it takes, by the end of his career, he better retire a Timberwolf, and I want him on the coaching staff after that. Which doesn't seem too far stretched if he's not going to coach down at Iowa. It just depends on where Fran McCaffrey. Did they fire Fran McCaffrey in Iowa? I'm not a Big Ten basketball guy, but he should be on the coaching staff when he's done. He's another guy who I would love to see on the Wolves bench for a while. Whether he's pointing as a coach or whether he's 36 years old, just making a quick paycheck like Joe Ingles, can't let a guy like that walk back. That is the one Timberwolves player I would bring back on the bench. You guys need to let me know who you would want to bring back. Obviously, tons of good options, lots of horrible options as well. But to end today's video, we're going to stick with Luka Garza being the Timberwolves player of this video. I miss that guy. I'm going to miss him. I almost bought a Garza jersey. Glad I didn't. But until next time, you guys all take care.